Today, I'm going to be telling you the story of one of the greatest video game mods of all time. One could even argue that it is the greatest mod that's ever been made. This mod is so good that it could even be considered as DLC for the original game that it's based off of. It takes every single element of platforming that you can think of and mashes it into one massive community-made masterpiece. I present to you Celeste Strawberry Jam. Are you feeling immersed by that incredible intro? Well, too bad, because I have to break that immersion to explain what this mod actually is before we get into the meat of it. To keep it simple, it's essentially a collection of 21 fan-made levels, all with varying difficulties and styles. Some extremely fun, some agonizingly painful, all connected by a beautifully crafted hub world. Think of it kind of like the Mario 64 hub world for all you old people watching. Okay, that was a bad example. My main demographic probably isn't that old, but a better example would have to be the Comet Observatory from Mario Galaxy, a game people of my generation actually have played. Anyways, I'll stop rambling because believe me, there's a lot to cover in these 21 levels, so let's get right into it. Now, much like Vanilla Celeste, Strawberry Jam starts out with a prologue, and to be honest, there really isn't much to say about it other than the fact that the sprite work is amazing for the entire area, and you could just really see how talented the artists were for this mod. Also, off we go. Whoa, that's so cool. It's strawberries. It's almost like it's a strawberry jam. After my both comedic and hilarious joke, I continue to ascend into the heavens until I reach the beginning of the main hub world of Strawberry Jam, the home of some of the most amazing Celeste levels ever created, and also the home of some of my personal hells. More on that later. So after my monkey brain was done being mesmerized by the crabs I found in the hub world, I finally made my way to the first level. So basically in this mod, there's no like specific order you do the levels in. You can basically do any level in any order, but Force Pass was the first one that I found. And this level starts out with some pretty classic Celeste platforming before throwing a brand new mechanic at you. The rainbow crystals. Is that what they're actually called? I have no idea, but that's what I'm gonna call them, and you can't stop me. So basically, it just allows you to defy all known laws of physics and just lets you casually phase through walls. So honestly, I found it pretty fun and cool because the level design complements the new mechanic perfectly. Also, I just want to mention this. There was like this one strawberry that I'm convinced is just straight up impossible, and I spent way too long trying to figure it out. So if anyone knows how you get this one, just let me know in the comments. Anyways, after that, I just phased through a few more walls, you know, the usual. And would you look at that? I'm at the end of the level. It was a pretty easy level overall, but again, it was the first one that I ran into, so I kind of expected it to be pretty easy. And honestly, I think it was a good introduction to the mod, something I can't say about some of the future levels. Anyways, to rate all the levels fairly, I decided to create a rating scale for all these levels. Every level will be rated on a scale of 0 to 5 strawberries. I know, original. 0 being complete garbage, 5 being amazing in every way. I think this level deserves a solid 3.5 strawberries out of 5 for being a simple, enjoyable level for new players to ease their way into the mod. On to the next level. After I made my way out of the first level, I accidentally stumbled into level number 2, Azure Caverns. Azure Caverns? Azure Caverns? Okay, I'll stop now. Anyways, I gotta say, the first thing I noticed with this level was the really nice looking visuals. Something about the aesthetics of the level just had a really cool vibe to it, and I don't know how to explain it, but it had a very unique look that some of the other levels just didn't really have. So I think it makes this one stand out from the others. Also, there are like these moving fan things that would move after you dash into them, which confused me more than I probably should have, which is kind of scary considering this is only the second level I've played in the game so far. So I'm sure by the end of this mod, my singular brain cell is going to be begging for mercy. I also wasted way too much time trying to collect this optional strawberry, by the way, which serves 0 purpose whatsoever, except for that fact that you can collect them. Like, I honestly don't know why. I spent so much time trying to get this one freaking strawberry. It has 0 functionality in the game. As far as I know, maybe there's like some reward for collecting them all, but as far as I know, they don't do anything. So I wasted a bunch of time doing that, but hey, I actually got the strawberry this time, unlike the first level, so I'll take that as a win. And then from there, I just made my way to the end of the level with ease. This one also pretty easy. I'll give this one a solid 4 out of 5 strawberries. I think it deserves the extra half a point over the first level, just because I thought the aesthetics were really good in this one. Let's move on to the next one. After struggling my way through the caverns, I made my way to level number 3, Loopy Lagoon. So this level was kind of funny just because I had like these fun little trampoline sponges that would eat you up if you bounce on them, which, you know, it isn't anything revolutionary, but sometimes simplicity is nice, right? But the thing that I found funny about this level had nothing to do with like the gameplay or anything. Like nobody cares about that. But the funny thing that I'm sure nobody else cared about except for me was that there were like these weird pools of milk just kind of like hanging around. And for some reason they kill you, which is weird because it's like, it's milk. How does milk kill you instantly? Like, did someone drop poison in the milk supply? Like is there like lava underneath the milk? Like, did the lava get dyed to be a white color? Like, what's going on here? Okay, we need to get to the bottom of this mystery, because if the milk supply of a civilization is poisoned.
1 hour later.
Oh yeah, also the level, you know, the level was pretty good too. But you know, the main thing was like the milk. That was like the main thing I remembered about this level, was mostly just the milk. But yeah, I think we'll give this level, it was nothing super memorable, so I'll give it like a 3 out of 5 strawberries. Pretty solid overall, but nothing crazy. But seriously though, I am going to get to the bottom of the milk mystery, okay? Welcome to level number 4, Collapsing Skyline. This level challenge comes from the fact that the building you're standing in literally is falling apart as you're inside of it. Hence the name, Collapsing Skyline. Very clever Strawberry Jam developers. I see what you guys are doing. I do have to wonder why Madeline's exploring the interior of a building that's actively falling apart. Kind of weird, but you know, I'm not here to judge. The level also contains some little baby strawberries that essentially would turn into a big strawberry once you find all 6 pieces, which I thought was pretty neat. It kind of reminded me of Mario Galaxy, of the star pieces you'd have to collect to unlock the big star to progress you to the next section of the level. And yes, I know I'm using lots of Mario Galaxy references in this video, but it's a memorable game, okay? Don't judge me. Level overall just contains lots of precise platforming using the dash block thingies, which, by the way, I still don't know the name of them, even though they're in Vanilla Celeste. I'm just too lazy to Google it. Alright, someone in the comments can tell me. I can't be bothered. And honestly, it was just a fun level throughout. It was really fun to play through. I especially enjoyed the sections where the building would fall around you, giving you new platforms to reuse later, and it was just overall a very well-made level. There was lots of passion put into the level, and the level design was very well made. And also, I only got 2 out of the 6 baby strawberries, so I guess just rest in peace to the other 4 who got left behind. Before we leave this level, we got to give it a rating. I'll give this one a 3.5 out of 5 strawberries for just being a fun experience throughout. After escaping the collapsing buildings, I made my way to the next level, Midnight Spire. But before I did that, I spent the next 10 minutes trying to frickin' find the level because the lobby's a maze and my dumb brain can't figure out how to map out an area, even though it literally gives you a map showing you where all the levels are. Alright, but I did eventually get there, and we made it to Midnight Spire. Now, this stage contains an unfathomable amount of bubbles, okay? Like an insane, there's so many. Like, the creator of this level must have been a bubble enthusiast, because it litters the entire stage. There's no moment where you escape the bubbles. They're lurking in every corner, taunting you, making fun of you, pointing and laughing at you, like my YouTube comment section. Yeah, don't think I don't read those, okay? It's not like I have anything better to do. Like, halfway through the stage, I started to fatigue from the bubbles. Like, it just got kind of repetitive. It felt like there weren't that many new ideas compared to some of the other levels I've played so far. And they didn't really introduce any new unique mechanics either, and it's kind of disappointing when all the other levels I played added new mechanics or experimented with old ones in new ways, and this one just kind of got stale because it didn't really have a unique aesthetic, and the gameplay wasn't that remarkable. I wouldn't say it's bad or anything, just uninspired, and it feels just kind of plain and needs something either aesthetically or mechanically to give it some spice. So unfortunately, there's nothing else I can give this level other than a 2.5 out of 5 strawberries. It's a well-made level, just lacks inspiration. So after escaping the bubble hell, we make our way to the next level, Trophosphere. And I actually really like the name of this level because it's based off one of the many layers of the atmosphere, which is really cool because it actually is thematically correct in the level too, because the level starts out with you in the top of a mountain that's really high up, and it launches you up probably into the Trophosphere, the first layer of the atmosphere, which is awesome. I just think it's really cool. Yes, I know I'm a nerd. Okay, don't judge me. It's interesting. All right, it's probably one of the most unique names and most thought out level names in the entire mod. Okay. Is that important for the actual level? No. I just think it's worth mentioning because they obviously put some thought into it. Now, Trophosphere, in my humble opinion, has some really fun and interesting platforming challenges, mainly by utilizing the mechanics of the Dream Block. For those who don't know, basically, the Dream Block just lets you dash through one side and pop out the other, giving you your dash. And you can also do a fun little trick where you dash through and jump out the other side, called a Dream Jump. And this level is full to the brim with these suckers. I mean, sometimes they even coat the walls with spikes, and it's really fun to jump through the Dream Blocks. So I really like that this level is based on them, and pulling off some of the Dream Block maneuvers is really rewarding to figure out. And it's just super satisfying to complete a room after figuring out how to navigate the Dream Blocks. And the gameplay just feels clean and polished, and the aesthetics look good. Not anything crazy, but it looks good. It's fun to play through. I gotta give this level a 4 out of 5 strawberries. Very fun. Wait, actually, there was one thing I forgot to mention about this level. Is that a cat? Oh my god, look, it's a little kitty. Oh, I love that. Alright, this level just immediately went to my favorite level, just because you can pet the kitty. Look, I'm petting the kitty. Okay, I just killed myself. After considering this into the equation, I think it's only fair that we bump up the score to a 6 strawberries out of 5. I will take no slander in the comments about this decision. It's the only way. On to the next one. After that masterpiece of a level, alright, we made our way into the Mega Man level. I mean, switch to Vista. Please don't sue me, Capcom. Thank you. Anyways, this level is, much like the last level, another banger, okay? It immediately starts out by introducing 2 brand new mechanics. Clear pipes, similar to the ones from Mario 3D World, and switch blocks, similar to the ones from Mario Maker. I know all my references are related to Mario. Leave me alone. It's one of the only 2D platformers I played that I can relate it to, and a lot of other people know Mario, alright? The level is also really interesting to play through because it was both a puzzle level and a platformer, and it's a good mix of the two. None of the puzzles felt too difficult to solve, but they also mixed platforming into it, so it felt fun to complete the puzzles because even once you figured them out, you still had to do good platforming to get through it. So honestly, I just found it really enjoyable to play through, and the aesthetic was cool, the music was cool. This definitely deserves a 5 out of 5 strawberries for being one of my favorite levels in the entirety of the mod. That last level put me in an amazing mood, so there's no way the next level is going to make me frustrated or dampen the mood in any way. The next level is called Over the City. Doesn't that sound like a fun and exciting level? Well, they got rid of the dash. Yeah, you heard that right. They decided to remove the key mechanic that makes Celeste fun to play. You know, that makes the movement enjoyable. You know, the thing that you need for the platforming to feel good. You know, the thing that makes Celeste, you know, that makes it unique. But don't worry, because the level provides you with these little arrow power-ups that give you extra jumps. But here's the thing, here's the little catch. They go away if you touch the ground. What kind of psychopath designed this level? Did they want us to suffer, or do they truly think removing the dash was a good idea? It doesn't help that the entire level is one big convoluted puzzle that took me ages to figure out, considering how many rooms there are and how many of the rooms are just completely optional that you don't even need to be in. Like, it's like they're designed just to mess with you. And even if you figure out the puzzles, the platforming is ridiculously difficult. Why is it difficult, you ask? Maybe because they removed the dash. Why? Alright. As you can tell, I have some strong feelings about this level, and I legitimately can't fathom why they thought getting rid of the dash was a good idea. It took me around 20 minutes to get through this whole level, way longer than it should have because the platforming was really difficult, the puzzles didn't make sense, and this is way too challenging for a beginner level, okay? I don't care if it's meant to be one of the harder ones, still way too hard and not very welcoming to newcomers. And even if it wasn't meant to be easy, it's still just not fun to play through and just overall frustrating because they took away the dash. I don't understand, alright? But thank God, eventually, I made my way out of the level. And I'm sorry, but this level deserves nothing more than 2 out of 5 strawberries. Actually, you know what? It's getting a 1 out of 5 strawberries. I take that back. That's what it deserves, okay? Fight me in the comments, I don't care. It get to 1. Let's get on to the next level already. I'm sick of this one. Now that we're finally out of Over the City, we actually have our dash back again. Woo, yay! Everybody's cheering. Great. I'm happy to be out of there, alright? And luckily, this next level more than made up for how bad Over the City was. The name of the level is literally just paint, and it's actually one of the few levels in this mod to have a bit of lore to it. It starts out with Badeline telling Madeline, okay, it sounds kind of... okay, technically her name isn't actually Badeline, but apparently the community just decided to call like the brain other person inside Badeline. It's decided to call her Badeline, so I'm like, okay, we'll just roll with that. But anyways, it starts out with Badeline telling Madeline to take a break from all her work and get some fresh air. And Madeline begrudgingly agrees, and the level begins when you step outside the house. Right off the bat, the level hits you with its amazing aesthetic, vibrant colors, beautiful sky, and the overall amazing vibe helps contribute, my bad, to how cool this level is. And I haven't even begun to talk about the gameplay yet. One of the coolest mechanics in the level are these little blue and pink cannons that shoot you to the beat of the music. It's really cool. Also, I didn't know when to mention this, so I'll just do it now. There's like these little cat dudes scattered throughout the level that they're just kind of hanging out and vibing, and I think it's funny. Like, they have zero impact on like the actual gameplay of the level, but they're just little guys, and I just think it's funny that they're here. I also like the way that the music interacts with the level. It's very cleverly implemented, and it deserves a lot more praise than it's getting. After a little more platform, we get to another cutscene where Badeline tries to convince Madeline to stop working so hard, as she's clearly overworking herself on this project, whatever it may be. However, Madeline, being Madeline, stubbornly refuses and continues to progress through the level. Now with a brand new mechanic. The paint laser beams. No, I'm not kidding. The paintbrushes, they shoot you with lasers. And of course it synergizes with the music. Like, come on, we gotta stick with this theme that we got going on. Eventually, I make it to the end of the level, which is on a bus for some reason. Anyways, the level ends with Madeline realizing that she was wrong all along and that she was just trying her best on the project. She wanted to be successful, but is worried it was all for nothing. Luckily, Madeline convinces her that everything will be okay, and the level finally ends. Everybody's happy. Just kidding, level isn't over yet. I really got you there. You thought it was over. No, there's still one final challenge we gotta do. Similar to Summit from Vanilla Celeste, this ending section combines all the mechanics of the level and creates one final challenge that's really fun to play through. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, as after this section, the level actually ends this time, and I'm not messing with you, it actually ends. But you end up in the same place you started, your home. And I gotta admit, this level easily scores a 5 out of 5 strawberries, and honestly, I think we deserve to give this one a 6 out of 5, or even a 6.5 out of 5. Like, honestly, it's just a phenomenal level, amazing aesthetics, good music that synergizes with the level, really fun mechanics. Everything about it is just amazing. Let's hope the next one is just as good. Welcome to level number 10, the Squeeze. Kind of a strange name, but I'm not one to judge. As long as the level is more fun than Over the City, I can't complain. I swear I'm going to have nightmares of that level when I go to bed at night. Those arrows will haunt me forever. Anyways, this level was a simple yet enjoyable stage to play through. While the aesthetics weren't anything special, mostly just reused assets from the main game, the gameplay more than made up for the lack of anything flashy. I'd much rather have a level that's fun to play through than have some garbage mechanic forced down my throat. Over the City. As far as I could tell, there's actually no custom mechanics in the level, but honestly, I didn't mind because the stage was still fun to go through, and while it might not be the most memorable stage in the entire mod, I think it still deserves a solid 3 out of 5 strawberries for being fun to play through. After looking around for a little bit, I found the next stage, Strawberry Orchard. This one was pretty fun for a few reasons. First of all, the whole ranch theme this level had was pretty neat, and I liked all the small little details that were put into the background of the stage, like the hay bales or even the little cobwebs. It really set the vibe of the level, and I appreciate the amount of detail that went into it. I also love the premise of the stage. Basically, the idea is that you have to transport a basket of jam to the end of the level without losing it along the way. The platforming is a lot of fun and usually revolves around yeeting the basket of jam through pipes and catching it on the other side. There's also lots of springs and other mechanisms that move around the basket as you progress to the level. The platforming slowly gets more advanced as you progress, but never gets too hard to the point of frustration. It's the perfect difficulty for a beginner-style level. The music was fun, and this level had another strawberry that stumped me for way too long. Fine. We're gonna ignore the right side of the room? Yes, we are going to ignore the right side of the room. And now that you mentioned it, I'm gonna cheese this level without the... Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. We're just gonna ignore the right side of the room, because I'm kind of embarrassed now, and I want to prove a point. Like, is this the right way to do it? Absolutely not. But is it a way that you can do it? Absolutely. I have zero regrets. This level easily earns itself a nice 4 out of 5 strawberries for just being a fun, creative level. Thank God we're getting so many good levels in a row here. It would be a shame for this streak to get ruined by another level that's worse than Over the City, but I'm sure that won't happen. Let's just move on to the next one. Fortunately, my good luck streak continues as the next level is another banger, TreeHive. I don't even know where to start with this level. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to let you see the level for yourself while we listen to the absolute jam, no pun intended, that this level theme is. Let's go. I don't care what nobody says. This level gets a 6 out of 5 strawberries. Easily. I don't think I need to explain myself. The level speaks for itself. Welcome to Gusty Garden Galaxy. I mean, Rose Garden. Sorry, wrong game. Please don't sue me, Nintendo. Thank you. Though, fun fact, the theme of this level is heavily inspired by the music from Mario Galaxy. Let me show you. I'm a big music guy, so I love when composers make little motifs or references like this. It definitely increases my rating for this level overall. And luckily, the gameplay of this level is also fun, revolving around these little rose petals that could be both used as a parachute and a way of gaining height. Funny enough, the rose petal is based off of the flower petal you use in Mario Galaxy during Gusty Garden. The gameplay is super clean and feels satisfying to play through as you glide through each room with your rose petal. 4.5 out of 5 strawberries for this level. Wow, I am impressed with the overall quality of the levels we've seen so far in this mod. Can really tell how much time and energy was put into it. Let's hope our luck continues with the remaining stages. But as I load up the next stage, Dropsol, a horrible realization hits me. This is a puzzle level. Now, to the average human, this doesn't seem so bad. But there's a problem. A major problem. I only have 4 brain cells, and 2 of them are asleep until about 3 a.m. So really, I only have 2 functional brain cells most of the time. Many scientists refer to this condition as immense stupidity, and this level really helps bring out this condition in me. The level actually starts out pretty simple. It's just a small gap I have to set up a way to get through. Minor issue, the gap is pixel perfect. That means it's basically impossible to cheese the map by making the jump without solving the proper puzzle. So obviously, I decided to die over and over again as I try to get to the pixel perfect gap instead of doing puzzles, because I don't got time for that, okay? 2 brain cells, we can't handle that. And honestly, I would probably spend more time solving the puzzle than it would take me just to brute force my way through the pixel perfect apps. So honestly, I just kept finding creative ways to skip the puzzles and make the pixel perfect jump throughout the level. And luckily, I'm a skilled gamer, so I was able to get through the first few rooms pretty easy. Then I made it to this room. That's when disaster struck. Why did disaster strike, you might ask? Well, you see, this is the one room in the map you can't cheese by just making a difficult jump. That means I would actually have to solve the puzzle. Okay, terrible. Anyways, slight issue. I suck at solving puzzles. So I then spent the next 30 minutes or so losing my mind until I finally figured out the solution to the most confusing puzzle ever. But even after I figured out the ridiculously hard puzzle, I couldn't free myself from this level as there was still one more godforsaken puzzle left. Luckily, the final room was cheesable, much like almost every other room in this level. Thank God, because if it wasn't cheesable, I would have been trapped in there for hours. Let me tell you, I was glad to get out of that insane asylum. Holy. I'm sorry, but this level can't score anything higher than a 2 strawberries out of 5 for no reason other than the fact that I hate puzzle levels. Fight me in the comment section. I don't care. I stand by my statement. Little did I know that this level was nowhere near the worst puzzle level in this mod. I had no idea what I was in for. Luckily, the next level, Forsaken City, was a very manageable level that it didn't really require too much brain power. Maybe like half of one brain cell, no more than that. Because it had a bit of platforming and a bit of minor puzzle solving, but for the most part, it was majority platforming. Maybe like 90% platforming and like 10% puzzle solving. And honestly, this is the kind of puzzle level that I'm actually okay with. And that's because I think mixing puzzle solving with platforming is the way Celeste levels are kind of meant to be. You remove the platforming, it loses the Celeste charm that makes the game fun to play. Hence why the last puzzle level was not fun for me, because it barely had any platforming in it. It was mostly just puzzle solving. But this one is. Is that a bad take? Maybe, but I don't care, because in my head, it makes sense, alright? Don't judge me. Or judge me, I don't care, alright? I'm not taking it back. I'm speaking only the truth right now. Also, there was like this random poem that was just kind of sitting in the middle of the level. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it's meant to be some kind of hint or tip for what you're supposed to do in the level, but I couldn't decipher it. So, like most of my problems in life, I just ignored it. Anyways, I think this level deserves a solid 3.5 strawberries out of 5. We then take a visit to Area 51, I think. I don't know. But in the level, A Gift from the Stars, we take a visit to a UFO crash site of some sort. Which is kind of interesting because I actually don't see a UFO anywhere, but hey, I'm not going to judge. And honestly, I think the aesthetic of the level, not anything crazy, but I think it looks nice. Has a unique look compared to some of the other levels. And after doing a little bit of basic platforming, we'll reveal that Madeline is in fact looking for aliens. But again, I don't see the aliens anywhere. I don't know where they are, how we know they're here. But hey, I'm not going to judge, you know? Anyways, after Madeline attempts to justify with her own brain that we should be here and not actually, you know, be doing something logical, we're then revealed the one key mechanic of the level. The orb thingies. Is that their actual name? Probably not, but that's what I'm calling them because they're like purple sphere things. They look like an orb, so I'm calling it an orb thingy, okay? Don't yell at me. That's what I'm calling it. Now, these orbs may appear innocent, but let me tell you, these things cause me a significant amount of grief throughout this level. So basically, when you grab these orbs, it causes time to stop, and nothing moves. None of the moving platforms move. Everything stays frozen. None of the doors close. Everything stays frozen. But when you dash, it brings the time back to normal. Oh, when your dash runs out, because you have 2 dashes. So I literally spent multiple minutes trying to figure out how this mechanic worked. It would have been nice if the level, you know, explained it. But, you know, it's fine. Let me suffer a little bit. I deserve it. Now, most of the rooms involved having to stop time and grab a bunch of the coins before making it back to the start, all without running out of dashes. Because remember, if you run out of dashes, time goes back to normal, and this big door closes on your face. This mechanic would have been really cool if the puzzles weren't convoluted as hell, okay? Yup, you know what time it is. It's time for LarryTheSlime Complains About Another Puzzle Level, with your host, LarryTheSlime. You know, the guy making the videos? Alright, I'll stop. But yeah, this is a puzzle level, and this one's even more confusing than Over the City. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you think I'm done talking about Over the City? No. I'm never done talking about that level. This one is annoying in a different way. Over the City, I mean, Over the City was terrible, but this level has a bigger problem. The puzzles are so confusing that I literally could not figure it out. I spent at least an hour beating this level and could not figure it out. It got so bad that I had to take a break and come back later because it was so miserable to go through. And eventually I played enough where I had to resort to using extended variants. I mean, a rare glitch that I found that allows me to have infinite jumps. That's really convenient, huh? Thanks to that rare glitch that I found, I was eventually able to just cheese all the sections at the end and escape this cursed puzzle level. I think this puzzle level, while it does have a cool mechanic and a nice theme to it, unfortunately, I can't give it anything higher than a 2 out of 5 strawberries for being a painful experience to get through. If the puzzles were just a little bit simpler, it would have actually gotten a really high score. It's just that it was super frustrating to go through, and I had to use a rare glitch to get through it. That's crazy. Also, there were no aliens anywhere in this level. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Let's get on to this next level already.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
After suffering through the entirety of the last level, I was looking forward to finally experiencing a level that didn't make me want to die. Luckily, the next stage, Seeing is Believing, did not make me want to punch a hole in my monitor, which I see as a plus. Though I did have one issue. While blindfolded. Okay, well, I don't really have a blindfold with a friend getting you to the level. Alright, first problem, don't have a friend. So there you go, gonna stop you right there. Luckily, the entirety of the level could be played solo, so I didn't have to resort to interacting with other human beings. Whew. Thank God. That would be terrifying. That meant I had to get instructions from Battling. And no, I'm not kidding. I literally had to get instructions on how to beat the level by listening to Battling yell at me and tell me I'm garbage at the game. Which, you know, not the greatest, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do when you're playing it solo. And honestly, I feel like it would be 10 times more fun if you actually had a friend do it with you versus just doing the single player mode. But honestly, it was still fun even playing it solo. Favorite part about the level is that after completing a room, it shows you what it looks like, so you can see what part of the level you just completed. As you progress through the level, the instructions become more advanced and difficult to follow, creating a fun and unique challenge, unlike any of the other levels in the mod. I think this level deserves itself a crisp, clean 5 out of 5 strawberries. Let's go! On to, you guess it, another banger level, Cassette Cliffs. It's honestly impressive how many good levels there are in this mod. Sure, there were a couple of garbage levels that made me reconsider my life decisions a little bit. Over the city. But there's also so many phenomenal levels in this mod that it more than makes up for the few that weren't as good. And I just, real quick, while we're talking about it right now, I want to give a huge shout out to all the artists, people who made music, developers, level design, everybody who helped make this amazing mod. I just want to shout out and say how impressive this mod is, and everybody who worked on it should be very proud of themselves. And at the end of the day, you got to take all the criticizing I did for the few levels I didn't like with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, I'm just a guy on the internet that likes to complain. Let's just get back into talking about the game. Cassette Cliffs, yeah, the beat blocks from Farewell, those ones, yeah. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the beat blocks, so I had a lot of fun with this level. Nothing crazy with the mechanics or anything, I just love the beat blocks, so I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 strawberries, just because it was fun to play through. Welcome to Potential for Anything, one of the coolest levels in this mod, easily. Alright, this level contains some really interesting and in-depth mechanics. First of all, we gotta talk about the gravity changes. These little arrow thingies will completely change the stage's center of gravity, flipping you to different directions. It honestly kind of reminds me a lot of the way the gravity changes work in Mario Galaxy, which, if you don't know, is one of my favorite games of all time. This is a big part of what makes this stage awesome to play through. The gravity mechanics just allows the level design to be so much wackier and just stranger in general, and it allows so much more dynamic gameplay. And let me tell you, the level creator went wild with some of these rooms. Everything from upside down droppers to wacky platforming with gravity changes to even removing your dash in some segments in a cool way, not like Over the City. Not to mention that the art style was so distinct, which I think really helped make this level stand out from some of the others in this mod. And when you combine all these amazing aspects together, you get a level that easily earns itself a 7 out of 5 strawberries. That's what I'm talking about. We love to see that. Welcome to the second last level of this mod, If My Driveway Did You In. And no, I'm not kidding, that's the name of the level. And before the nerds enter the comment section, yes, I know it's a reference to the prologue from Vanilla Celeste. Okay, are you happy now? Great. Now let's talk about Royalty Pizza, the sponsor of today's video. Just kidding. You really think any company would want to sponsor me? Get out of here. Okay, wait, what were we talking about again? Right, the level of like the video game that I'm playing. Yeah. Anyways, so this level, it was a solid platforming stage with the idea being the little driveway from the prologue, using that asset to create some cool platforming challenges. And honestly, nothing super memorable other than royalty pizza. We can't forget about that. But yeah, no, the platforming itself, it was fun. Nothing crazy, but I enjoyed playing through it. So I'll give this one a solid 3.5 out of 5 strawberries for being fun, yet not super memorable. Hey, real quick, before we make it onto the last level of the mod, I just want to spend a quick second here to just give a huge shout out to the entire Strawberry Jam development team. All I want to say is that this entire mod has been so much fun to play through, and I've already said it before, but I want to thank the entire Strawberry Jam team for making this masterpiece, because it really is one of, if not the greatest video game mod I've ever played. And you know, I haven't really been serious this whole video. I've been joking and poking fun of a lot of the levels, but like seriously, the quality of these levels is pretty ridiculously good. So if you guys watching right now haven't checked out this mod, I will link it in the description, but definitely give it a try. It is worth your time. And for everyone still watching, I appreciate you making it this far in the video. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And if you want to help support the channel anymore, you can always subscribe and follow my Twitch if you want to see live stuff. But other than that, enjoy the rest of the video. Here we are, the finale of the beginner lobby, soap, which fun fact is actually a reference to the popular cleaning agent used in most bathrooms around the world. Anyways, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, Celeste Strawberry Jam, the last level, soap. Okay, gotcha. So this level contains a large amount of bubbles and precise platforming around spikes. Also, I think it's neat how the level has lots of ice physics to represent how slippery soap is. Fun fact, if you didn't know that, soap is actually a very slippery. The level design is just well made in general, so it's fun to bounce between bubbles and wall jumps as you progress through the level. Definitely a fun experience to end Strawberry Jam with, unlike certain other levels in this mod. Over the city. I don't know what that was, but anyways, I eventually finished this level, and I think it's only fair to give this stage a nice 4 out of 5 strawberries. Okay, so you know how I said there were only 21 levels in this mod? Well, I actually use an advanced tactic there called lying, and there's a secret 20-second level, only unlocked after beating every other level there is to offer. I'm sure it won't be too hard. It's not like it's going to be one massive level combining every mechanic I've learned throughout all 21 levels up to this point, right? That would be ridiculous. They wouldn't do that to me, right? Whew. Well, that level was tough, but thank God it's over. I can finally be done with this mod. Wait, what is that? Wait, what do you mean intermediate lobby? Wait, what do you advanced lobby? What do you, there's more levels? No, I thought that was it. Wait, no, don't tell me. There's harder levels than the ones I already did. No.